Hello everyone, welcome to Gardening TLC. My name is Michelle. I live in Northern Illinois and I am in Zone 5. Today we're standing in front of my cottage garden, and the reason we're standing out here is because we are going to tackle the monster roses. Check these things out. They have gotten so big that you cannot even go through the walkway underneath the arbor. So we need to take them out. They were never supposed to be here all season long. I was supposed to take them out in the spring. Well, as you can see, that did not happen. I've got to get it done today. So you can come along with me as I rip them out of the ground, repot them up, and then we're going to have to overwinter them in the garage for next year. Oh, I have so procrastinated on getting this done that now it is going to be a beast of a job, because these are David Austin roses and they have some pretty serious thorns. So the story is that when I put the cottage garden in last year, in my mind I had this beautiful arbor that was going to have this just cascading amount of roses growing up it. It was going to be absolutely gorgeous. Oh no, that is not what happened. So in the choosing of the Lady of Shalott roses, I apparently picked one shrub rose and one climbing rose. And even to this day, I don't know if I have two shrubs, I don't know what I have. They are pretty big. And a Lady of Shalott can get 4 by 4, which is a pretty large shrub rose. And they've grown in, they filled in the center because, I wasn't doing my due diligence in tying them up because I'm going to pull them out. Well, I never got that done. Well, now I'm going to pay the price today. And what I'm going to have to do is cut them all the way back to the ground and then pull all of those thorny branches out of there. I'm not looking forward to that. And then dig them up, pot them up, put them in the garage, and put them someplace else next year. I do have a plan for them, because in the process of being the slacker that I was by not digging these out, I have decided I don't want climbing roses on this arbor. It's only 4 feet wide and it's too narrow for climbing roses to grow up and then still have room to get inside without snagging your clothes or your arms or everything else going into the cottage garden. So I'm going to move those into the garden, and I did buy replacement ones for the arbor. Never got around to putting them on there. I got the Princess Marguerite. So both of these are like the apricot family in color, and I really like that color. But we're going to be creating a tunnel that's going to go that way next year. That's another video for another time, but that's where the climbing roses are going to go. And we are going to not put anything on this arbor for now. I think after looking at Garden Gab's pictures and the black-eyed Susan vine that was sent in by a couple people and how fast growing it is and how many flowers it gets on it, I think I might put annual vines on this that will grow really super fast, fill it in, and then I can change out what I'm doing every year and have a different look. I'm thinking that might be what I do. I don't know, what do you guys think? Weigh in on that down below. Before we do the roses though, we're gonna yank these zinnias out of the ground. They succumbed to the frost. We had 2 nights of frost and they are totally done, and maybe then after I get them out you'll be able to see this green mountain boxwood that's in there, but I'm going to get those out just because they're done and they serve their purpose for the year. They were glorious. I loved them. I will be doing zinnias again in here next year, and in November on the Shopify page, we're loading some really nice Christmas gifts that you can purchase. But one of the things that I've got that I put together is a custom seed blend of zinnias that if you want to purchase that when we load that into the store, you can grow those right along with me. It's like 3 different blends that we can grow together, and there's a short one, a medium, and a tall one, and I'll be planting mine out here. So I'm kind of excited about that. All right, let's get the zinnias out first, and then we'll tackle the roses. it out. I have 2 Green Mountain boxwoods in there. They totally got gobbled up by those zinnias. So now I can see them. Oh, that was satisfying. I pulled the cosmos out while I was at it. All right, now I'm going to start trimming this monster. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this rose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go down to the bottom and I'm going to try to clip out as low as I can and then yank them out. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, let's try it. That wasn't so bad. It only took me about 10 minutes to prune that all out of there. There are some seriously wicked thorns on here though. I've got to get a better pair of gloves. I think I'm going to order a pair from Garden Answer. I've been looking around for a good pair, but I can't seem to find one. So I'm going to try those ones that Laura has in her shop. I don't know. I'm hoping that I will have many more roses in the future that I will need those gloves. And I definitely needed them today. I got myself one time right there. But you know what? That's all going to go right there in my little debris pile, and then I'll come over later and get that all picked up. All right, now let's get them dug out and repotted. Now, it is too late in the season for a hard cutback like that on a rose and then to put it back in the ground. I don't think that they would make it. They don't have time to get established. I just totally freaked them out, and I opened up the whole rose that will be exposed to cold if I try to put them back in the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pot them up, and we are going to overwinter those in the garage. Now, I will have to probably once a month get some water on them. I don't know that that root ball will completely freeze in the garage, but it will get very cold in there. I think I might actually even wrap some burlap around the pots. I don't want the root ball to totally dry out. I just want it to stay moist enough that it's viable and that it can live through the winter. All right, so let me find a couple pots and we'll get these dug up. Oh, I also have to go change my shoes because I'm not digging those roses up with my little sandals. I'm going to go get my boots. Be right back. All right, I am no rose expert by any means, and so I hope I'm doing this right, but it does have a tag on the bottom that says Lady of Shalott. I was hoping it would say whether or not it was the shrub rose or the climber. It does not. All right, for one season, they were rooted in there pretty good. All right, so I got this part right here, and I have it all cut back, and I put just a little bit of potting soil in the bottom of this pot so that I can spread the roots out in there. Now, I do know that one of the things you don't want to do with a rose is bury it too deep. So I'm going to bury it just as far as it was in the dirt because obviously I did it right the first time. So I'm going to do it right this time. All right. So I'm going to put it in here so that my roots are nestling on some dirt. I actually need to put a little bit more in there. Nothing like wearing white pants when you're working with dirt. Okay, that's okay. I got a wash machine. All right, in it goes. That looks pretty good. All right, and then I'm going to backfill this with the rest of the dirt. There we go. all in there. I'm gonna steal some mulch out of the bed and then kind of just mulch this up a little bit. There's number one. All right, let's do the other one. The other one broke in half. So I hope it's gonna be okay, but I ended up getting two. And I don't know if there was a problem right here where it broke, because that's where it was. It was like right there. And then when I went to dig it up, it split in half. Hopefully it will be okay. All right, so let's get this one potted up as well. I'm just gonna put both of these in the same pot. I am very happy with how this turned out. I like that I can see my boxwoods again. Now you can see the arbor. This is a really pretty arbor. It's from Plow and Hearth. I believe it's the Montebello is the name of it. And I think I am going to do the annual vine on it. I want to be able to see into the cottage garden. And I think the roses will obscure it too much. I want to have the blind over here on this part. And as you're coming around the corner from the front garden and you take the new path, but I want you to be able to see the garden when you go through the arbor. And I certainly don't want anybody getting snagged up on roses. I love the idea of doing that, but I think I just need an arch with a bigger opening, which I will have when I do my cattle panels. They're going to have like 8 or 10, I'm not sure, but they're going to have a really big opening, and that will be the perfect place to put the roses. So let's go look at our little collection in the garage. I do have to go get some cardboard, because one of the things that you don't want to do when you overwinter in the garage is you really don't want to overwinter your pots on cold concrete. So I will be putting some cardboard underneath all of these plants. So these are my Princess Marguerite that I'm going to be putting on the tunnel next year. Here's the two Lady of Shalott that we just dug out. I'm not sure where they're going to go, but they're going to go somewhere in the garden next year. And then we have our 5 Dracaena spikes that we are overwintering in the garage and checking that out to see if that works. And then I have one cordyline. The other one I did decide to take to the office. So here's the cordyline right there. So these guys are all snugged up. I just got to get some cardboard underneath them. And I am going to give them all a little drink today. And then through the winter, I'll keep an eye on them, probably water them, probably once a month. Just get, some water on them so that those root balls don't totally dry out. All right. My little collection's getting bigger. Another garden chore taken care of. The zinnias are out. I raked everything up. The roses are up and out of the ground and in the pot, and we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that they make it through the winter so that we can plant them next year. Now, those Lady of Shalotts are probably shrub roses, so they're gonna go somewhere in the garden, or maybe a new garden. The Princess Marguerite, David Austin's, I know are climbing roses, and those are the ones that we're going to put on the arch when we make it. I'm pretty sure I am going to do a black-eyed Susan vine on this, and I'm probably going to see if I can find the yellow one. I think it's going to look great. I think I want to be able to try different vines that are annuals and, trade them in and out every year so I can create kind of a different look. Oh, what was that? Did you see it? I don't know what it was. There's ladybugs flying all over. That's probably what it was. I got it. It was a ladybug. Bye-bye. They've been flying all over today. It's okay to make mistakes in your garden and plant something that maybe doesn't work. Just don't be afraid to correct the mistake, and don't live with it because you feel like you have to. I'm not afraid to dig something out and move it. I'm not afraid to say that I made a mistake, because you know what? I learn from it every single time. And if you approach any mistakes that you make in the garden like that, you will be a totally knowledgeable and successful gardener, because every time it happens, you will learn. So that's all I've got for today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you get in your garden today. It deserves some TLC. Don't forget you do too, and we will see you in the next video. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.